Roger came from Brownsburg, Indiana, which in those days was quite rural. It's not like it is today. It was very small community. And he was telling me about the school being quite small, both in population and in size. He came to Wabash and was in the Martindale Hall in 1962 when he became part of the, what I call the pioneers of the founders. And at that time, he could have just said, well, it's a nice idea, I'll just finish out one more year in the dorm, but he didn't. And he graduated summa cum laude, which is by itself very impressive. But he was the only one in his class to graduate summa cum laude. He ended up having a career, I would say, as a scientist. Is that fair?
That is fair.
Fair, and as a teacher, and I've gotten to know him the last, when we came back in 2008 for the house dedication, and just, you know, he's, I think, so symbolic of that group of people. And so, Roger, you're the first one up, and good luck.
Thank you, John, for your very generous remarks. I do want to begin at the beginning, and that goes back to '59 when I was coming to Wabash as a freshman, and as I left home, my uncle, who had been at Wabash class of '33, and he'd been a member of the Peaks at that time, and he told me, ever hear of a group that is forming, is reorganizing Peaks, let me know and I'll give them $100. I kind of filed that away, went on. And then in the fall of '61, 2 years later, I had done 5 semesters at full tilt, in those days 18, 19 hours of credit, and I sat down and I thought, you know, I've done enough to graduate, I can take the minimum from here on out, and maybe something will come along to fill in time. So about the same time, over in the Feigen house, there was this movement. Bob was developing an idea that we should have the fraternity like Peaks, and he shared the idea with one of his fraternity brothers, Dave Wilson, and of course we didn't know Bob, but Dave had been in Payne House with Dave Johnson and John Dooley and myself, and he took physics and math courses that we're all majoring in with us, and so he knew us, and he had an idea, and he introduced Bob to us that there might be a real genesis for the fraternity. And so one day, early in February, he came over to our dorm room, we were all living in Martindale, and he pitched the idea of a new fraternity. And it seemed good to us. So far as I was concerned, if Dave and John wanted to do it, I wanted to do it too. We started off and we went to the National, and you heard all about this yesterday, but I went a little different direction. I remembered what my uncle said, that there was $100 now. As the future Chrysopolis treasurer, I had my eye on the dollar. And so I went back to my uncle and said, would you give us the $100 for starting off? He gave me the $100, and that's not all. He called all of his old fraternity brothers and got together a board of directors, alumni board of directors for the fraternity. So when we came in the spring with our 33 initiates, we also had a built-in board of directors to start off the existence of the fraternity. That gave the fraternity an initial start. I have memories of those days, but they kind of went by in a blur. But the one thing I remember goes back to what I said at the beginning that I had taken minimum amount of classes for that term, and I took incompletes. Lots of time. So that's kind of a review of my first semester with the fraternity and how maybe I helped a little bit. My second story has to do with the next year where the fraternity really helped me. We went in, well, I should preface this by saying that although I was pretty good in the classroom, I was not so good socially. And so, a little awkward. Some of my fraternity brothers were seeing women at DePaul, Hoerl, who was seeing Sue, among them, and they were restricted because none of them had cars. Not many students had cars at that time. But I had a car. And they told me the idea that if I met Marcia, that maybe the car would become available to me. Well, you know, that car made 125 round trips. It was nice that they introduced me to Marcia. I don't think that would have been enough. But the fraternity brothers cultivated and nurtured the relationship so that we're still together after what will be 50 years. Just a few I have much to be thankful for, and I'm very pleased to be here.
Thank you, Roger. The next person in this speed dating, actually, I've known Brad Johnson since we were freshmen, and speed dating doesn't really fit to him, much more than it did to me. But Brad and I were classmates, roommates. We came to the fraternity, and our pledge book said this is fraternity for life. After we became advisors and going to and from the chapter meetings, sometimes it was 1 o'clock in the morning, we're 50 years old. I said, Brad, I didn't know fraternity for life was a sentence. But Brad's going to, my very close friend, Brad Johnson's going to tell us about the next period, roughly 1967. In 1971, and I hope you'll be nice to me.
John asked me to do this, I don't know, about half an hour ago. John asked me to do this early on when we were planning, and I was really trying to gather my thoughts about those 4 years because, frankly, I've forgotten so much more in the intervening 14 years. That of those 4 years, there's certain salient things that do kind of stand out for me. And I'll preface this by saying that I was not necessarily the most enthusiastic Wabash student when I first came to Crawfordsville because actually I did most of my high school in the state of Michigan and was really interested in attending the University of Michigan. I thought that's where I probably would end up. And then relocated to Indiana my senior year of high school. It was a terrible thing the parents could do to a child. Senior year of high school. But I think my father had a plan for that, and the reason I say that is because when he was a very young man, he had worked for an individual named Frank Bish at the Chrysler Corporation, who happened to be a Wabash grad. My father didn't know anything about Wabash College, but he knew Frank Bish. And he figured, if that's a good place for Frank Bish, that's a good place for my son. So it was really my father who got me to Wabash. But enough of that. There's a historian whose name I don't remember, and probably won't remember anytime soon, but he says, may you live in interesting times. And I think our 4 years council administered W haircuts. Matter of fact, one of our pledge brothers received a W haircut, and he's been immortalized in one of the yearbooks. By the time we graduated in 1971, that had all been swept away. It was no longer there. And in that intervening 4 years, we had the Vietnam War, the protests associated with that. It was very much a time of contention, argument on campus, the protests related to professors, who was going to stay, who was not. We had a distinguished professor, Finley Campbell, who was instrumental in the formation of the MXI Institute, but there was a lot of controversy associated with that. So when I say living in interesting times, in that 4-year period, I'd say we progressed maybe 10 years as opposed to 4 years into what transpired. Within TEAG, what was probably most interesting was the fact that while we had built on a strong foundation of the founders that are here today, we were still a small house. We were in 2 houses. We occupied Kane House, and then we, through the beneficence of Dr. Dean, lived in that house over on Main Street. But a brotherhood sometimes suffers when you have brothers living in separate houses. We don't necessarily have quite the association. Particularly when we were taking our meals at the campus center, our breakfast meal at the campus center, we would have our evening meal at the Kane House, but not everybody always came to those meals. So as a result, the brotherhood in some ways wasn't maybe as strong as it could have been. But through the generosity of Wabash College, as I found out now in retrospect, we were able to build a new house in 1968 on South Grand Street that was housed for 72 men. And I think back on that, Wabash College was really placing a large bet on the teams because we had probably in the neighborhood of 38 members at that time. They're building us a house for 72 men. How are we possibly going to fill that? Well, we went to work in that fall, and that summer of 68 and the fall of 68. And I had to go back and confirm this because I couldn't believe the numbers. We pledged 34 freshmen that fall of 1968, bringing in 72 members in the Pawtucket Detchon, going from being one of the smaller houses to being one of the larger houses on campus. In a lot of ways, that demonstrated, I think, the leadership that we had, the leadership that was in the house. It was a clear example of what could be done, just as our founders showed what they could do in the space of 3-4 months. And in many respects, we duplicated that effort. Going on from that, those 4 years, those 3 years on Grant Street were probably some of the best years of my life. I struggled as a freshman. Once we were under one roof, we had a lot of mentors within the fraternity. I performed a lot better. A lot of my pledge brothers performed a lot better. And the fraternity was stronger for that as a result. At the time, though, I don't think I really understood the strength of that brotherhood. And John, in a sense, has alluded to it because we're now here 40 years after the fact. And I can tell you that one of my closest friends has been my closest friends for several decades now. And I don't consider him just a fraternity brother. I consider him in many respects a true brother, and that's Jon Pactor. If it wasn't for Pawtucket Epsilon, I'm confident we would never have that relationship. And the strength of that friendship would not be here. So, at least for me, that period of time is what Pawtucket Epsilon had. I think we came out of it a lot stronger than we went in. And in many respects, I look at how the fraternity performed after our era, and the fraternity got even stronger. So, as I say, I think those 4 years, we lived in very interesting times, but we survived them, and actually we're stronger for it. So, thank you.
Brad referred to his father knowing Frank Mish, and that allows me to make this interlude Roger Alig refers to his Uncle John, and there's been a lot of parental love for teak over the years. And when the house was being built in 1968, in that part of the time frame, parents were really active, and probably no more active parent at that time or parents were the parents of Brian Smith, class of '68. And Brian is here, so Brian, why don't you stand up and let people recognize you? Brian's father is a teak, the class of 1934. He's 98 and a half years old. He couldn't make it this time, and he did come to the house celebration in 2008. And we do miss him, but in 1968 in particular, Brian's mother was very active in generating support for the house, including writing